The Illini wrapping up their West Coast trip, going 1-1, falling to UCLA tonight, 95-94 in overtime. That was a heartbreaker, wasn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about this, because Illinois at one point led by as many as 23 in the first half, and a bit of a tale of two halves here by this team. We saw a bit of a different Illinois team compared to that first half that outscored UCLA 33-10. What's been a big part of their identity, this season, Dane, has been the rebounding. You heard Brad Underwood, saw him in the huddle for a moment there in the second half, putting more of an emphasis on chasing down the offensive rebound, getting back to who they are on the glass offensively. Illinois' defense, I think, really struggled here down the stretch, went from being an early blowout to a really close one as we looked up at our screen here. Credit, though, to UCLA, and what a victory for the Bruins. I think when it came down to it, though, they played more physical tonight and took this team into OT.
Would have liked to see a little more blocking, though, in that last play.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Brad Underwood has now guided Illinois to 7 straight seasons of 20-plus wins. What makes this team, despite tonight's loss, what makes this team special, do you think?
Well, a lot of reasons. I think, one, when you look at the floor, I mean, they've got size, especially on the defensive end. They're tough to score against inside the paint. Depth, to me, is also another thing that really sticks out about this team. It's something that they haven't had in recent seasons. Add on top of that, Dane, I think this group, a pretty veteran group as well, despite us seeing, by the way, Kylan Boswell going down for a minute. Keaton Wagler, I was going to say health. I think going into this game, what was a big factor for them, especially getting Kylan Boswell back. He missed nearly a month, 7 games with a broken right hand here. But Kylan Boswell, I think, Dane, he's such a key scorer, but the big thing with him is he gives them such a boost defensively. And I got the chance to catch up with him just yesterday as we discussed his return to the court. Take a listen. I know you just returned into the starting lineup. Tell me, how does it feel to be back here and playing with this team?
For me, it's everything. The recovery process with Coach Fletch, Justin, Coach Nguyen, we helped sped up my entire thing. Feeling more comfortable with the guys, getting back on the court, just trying my best to help our team win.
Is it safe to say that we potentially just saw the dunk of the year here in that last game against USC? Walk me through that dunk. How did that feel? And I gotta know, was your phone just blowing up after the game?
No, it was even at halftime. All the guys were showing me the clip and all that. But yeah, I mean, that's our philosophy, is crashing glass, and he just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and I got a little boost, so I just went up there and flushed it.
You're someone that's born and raised here in Champaign, Illinois, and you're getting to play for the Illini. When you hear your name being announced in the starting lineup, I mean, give me a glimpse as to what that feels like for you.
I always just try to remember myself as a little kid watching Illinois play. It's a blessing, and I'm extremely grateful to be in that opportunity. It's a lot of work that me and my family has put in to get to that point now in time. But Coach Brad, Coach Alexander, Coach O, they all believe in me, Coach Tyler, Hammer. But yeah, 100% a blessing, and I'm very grateful for it.
When you look at this group that you're playing with, I mean, one thing that really sticks out, you guys obviously have size. You guys can shoot the ball well, play well offensively, and of course, getting you back, I think that's a huge boost for them defensively. What makes this group so unique?
I think the biggest thing I've said all year is none of us have egos. We all accept our roles on this team. And our big word for us is leverage, and we try to leverage each other to play the best version of ourselves. I think when all of us have gotten from the point to now is buying into philosophies that the coaches preach, I think, as you guys can see, we've done a great job so far this year.
When you look at what your teammate Keaton Wagler has been able to do as a freshman, I mean, what is it like playing with him, and what does he bring to this team?
I said it in the summer when we had interviews that he would be one of the best Illini freshmen to come across this campus. The role that he stepped into when I had to step off the court was just unbelievable. Watching him just grow as a person, as a player, I'm extremely proud of him. Every day we push him to be the best version of himself, and we just know that that'll be the guy for us when things get rough and tough that we have to lean on. And I think he's done a great job with his poise, his mental clarity throughout games to continuously be at an even deal. March
is just around the corner. I mean, what have the conversations been like amongst you guys? And how do you also kind of block out all the noise here when everyone's like, hey, Illinois can be a legit Final Four team and all that stuff?
I think the biggest thing is a lot of us already have experienced it. The feeling of when you lose, you're going home. I think now we're implementing that into practice and making sure that's understood that, the games that are coming down to the wire, there's no more cupcake games for a long time now. Just getting understanding, a feeling of all these games in February leading into March Madness are going to be exactly how the tournament's going to be.
And Tina, on Friday, the Illini are going to be back at home in Champaign, hosting #1 Michigan, a primetime matchup. That game right here on Fox. What are your thoughts about that matchup?
Well, you just saw top-ranked Michigan suffer just their second loss to #3 Duke here against Michigan. You got to keep the pace with them on the interior. They do a lot of damage inside the arc. They play fast. It's hard to keep up with them when they play efficiently, even in some of those tough environments, Dane. Meanwhile, you have an Illinois team that also has size. They can score in so many different ways. Top 10 in the country in threes, top 10 in not turning the ball over as well. This is going to be a battle come Friday. Watch that game right here on Fox 32 Chicago.
I will be watching.
Go ahead and show you the standings here in the Big Ten. Just a few weeks left in the regular season. Big Ten race tightening up at the top. Michigan sits alone there atop the conference, while Brad Underwood and the Illini right on their heels. You see Purdue, Nebraska are tied, while Michigan State and Wisconsin, Dane, still I think remains dangerous here down the stretch. All right, moving along now to the Bears, and this story has had everyone talking this week. The Bears push for a new stadium has taken a, quote, meaningful step forward on Thursday, and it's looking like a site in Northwest Indiana is a potential option after Indiana lawmakers unanimously approved a bill that has paved the way for a new dome stadium in Hammond, Indiana. And look, it's understandable why this has the fan base certainly frustrated, because for one, a new stadium in Chicago will come at the expense of local taxpayers. Arlington Heights, though, still an option, and it's almost the same distance as Hammond too. Dane, give me your thoughts on the latest stadium news here.
All right, I have to tell you, I've always believed it's going to be Arlington. When they bought that land 3 years ago, it was like they're going to build a stadium there. It makes too much sense for a whole lot of reasons. Also, remember that mega projects hearing that was canceled last week, and everybody was all upset about that? It's been rescheduled for Thursday in Springfield, and that's significant. I think we're also hearing more messaging out of Governor Pritzker that he understands it's time to play ball, if you will. He's going to put some pressure on the Chicago-based lawmakers who have been sort of holding up this end of the project so far.
Can I say, though, situations like this, it's fluid, right? And for me personally, I'm going to believe it whenever I see a shovel in the ground here, because as we know,
Kevin Warren was telling us we were going to see one last year. We haven't seen it yet.
All right, well, hey, Soldier Field, though, stands as the oldest stadium in the NFL. It has been renovated multiple times since opening in 1924. It's historic, despite the Bears not moving there until 1971. The fact of the matter is, though, the Bears do need a new, more modern stadium, and our crew from the offseason with Cassie Carlson has a reaction as well.
Do you see this as posturing by the Bears? Because we know that Indiana's legislative session is ending in a week. We know that Illinois is in their legislative session right now.
I think that timeline is very important, because the state of Indiana's business will be done legislatively wise at the end of this month, at the end of next week. And so you had this timeline for the state of Indiana to try to put some of these things in place if they were truly serious about bringing the Bears there, and the Bears were truly serious about listening to the offers. And so now those are there, right? Those things are locked in, that box is checked, and the Bears have new cards in their hand to play. Now it's how do they play them with their back and forth with Illinois. And so it's going to be really interesting to see. Again, I think the next step in all of this is what is Illinois' response, and how does that change the dynamic for the Bears, and what does it do for Indiana, who's now really a burden hand for the Bears.
Well, the Blackhawks were back on the ice this week following the Olympic break, a stretch that head coach Jeff Blashill called a, quote, mini training camp. Their first game back comes Thursday in Nashville against the Predators, in which Connor Bedard is expected to return to taking faceoffs for the first time since suffering an injury on a last-second draw back on December 12th. We caught up with the Hawks star center this week.
Yeah, I thought it was nice for our group. Mentally, everyone kind of get a little break, and a lot of guys kind of went away on a little trip, or some went home, stuff like that. So we miss each other. We're family in here. So, a lot of us want to trip together or with some guys, whatever. But I think we're all pretty fired up to get back in the rink and just be with each other and whatnot.
For the full interview, be sure to watch it on our YouTube channel. Speaking of hockey, Dane, it all comes down to one game tomorrow. Top-seeded Team Canada facing the 2-seed Team USA tomorrow at 7:10 a.m. Set your alarms here in Chicago. If the U.S. wins gold tomorrow, it will be 46 years to the day of the miracle on ice when the U.S. shocked the world, beating the Soviet Union, who was a heavy favorite. Dane, what do you remember from that game?
What were you doing in that moment? I was a freshman at the University of Illinois, and I remember the game game was played in the afternoon, and it wasn't broadcast as it was being played. And word started spreading around campus that they'd beaten the Soviets, which was just an amazing story in and of itself. We had to watch it in the dorms on our television that night.
Boy, times sure has changed here, right?
It has. It has. All right. Hey, thank you very much. Good to see you, team. Just back, I just want to say, too, you're just back from spring training. I want to get your thoughts real quickly. What are you surprised about what you saw down there in the Cubs camp and in the White Sox camp?
Okay, well, let's start with White Sox because the young core of Chase Meidroth, Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery, I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of step forwards they take here. Year 2 with Will Venable, but of course, Munetaka Murakami, the Japanese slugger. He is one of the most prolific hitters to come out of Japan.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is a big guy. Hit 56 home runs in one season. I think it's going to be interesting to just really monitor his transition from the NPB to the MLB. Meanwhile, the Cubs, your Chicago Cubs, I was in the locker room with them when they lost in the NLDS to the Brewers. That loss still sticks with this team. They have turned that disappointment into motivation, and of course, getting Alex Bregman.
Number 3.
Yes, number three, because he wants to win a third championship. Three-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ, brings a lot of postseason experience as well. But the impact he's already had in the clubhouse, especially on PCA, is really telling.
Baseball at Wrigley, March 26th, just a little more than a month. Can you believe March 26th opening day? That's going to be insane.